Hi, first things first, I would like to let y'all know that I have a speech impediment, so that just makes me more comfortable. Um, uh, so, a little bit about myself. I've been a creative writer, fiction writer, since I was about 11. And at this point, I have a small mountain of uh, works that are just sort of gathering dust. And this piece is the first piece I've really gotten published, especially in a place of this pedigree. And so I'm incredibly excited. I'm incredibly thrilled to be featured in this issue. And so this piece, Tentacle, is semi-autobiographical. In 2018, I received electroconvulsive therapy for treatment-resistant depression at McLean Hospital in Boston. And this piece is just sort of an amalgamation of my experiences there and some other experiences I had around that time that I thought would just fit into a really cool piece. And I guess the one last thing that I should say is that I am in recovery. You know, like, yeah. Um, and Today is my exact 7 months clean date. And oh, thank you. And I'm so appreciative of all of my brothers and sisters in recovery who came to support me today. And if I hadn't taken that leap of faith to get clean, I never would have set the events in motion that ended up with me being here. So I'm just so grateful for all of y'all who have supported me. So yeah, this is Tentacle. The excerpt I'm going to be reading is on page 81. It's right after that little scene break. The yearning for a Klonopin only hits when I'm there on the gurney, a sterile light beaming down while 5 different people work on me. It's chaos. There's one person taking my blood pressure, another trying to find a vein for the IV, someone else setting up the heart monitor, then 2 more gluing the electrodes to my skull, plus the anesthesiologist off to the side preparing drugs. And they're all moving, mixing, shouting, like it's urgent, like I'm about to die. Little pinch, the nurse working on the IV says. It's a big pinch. I endure it. It's much harder to endure my intestines twisting themselves up into knots as the tense weight grows heavier. Everyone blabbers, machines beep, heartbeat in my ear. It's going to be too much. This oxygen mask now being held against my face, reeking of treated rubber, is too much. It's too much. I shake off the mask and I have to say, can you guys just slow down, please? It's really stressing me out. They all stop for a moment. The nurse who was holding the mask sets it aside. He kneels down so he's eye level with me. Yeah, of course, I'm sorry about that. We will make a note about that in your chart too, all right? Okay, it's just really overwhelming. I totally get it. It's intimidating, but you're in good hands. The anesthesiologist arrives at my side, a tray of drugs beside her. The best hands, she says, I guess. It's true. You have anything to eat or drink last night, she asks. Not after midnight. And did you take your Klonopin? Not after dinner. Very good. You ready? Deep, deep breath. I am not ready, not at all. But I can't sink any lower than where I was when I got here, so there's no point in quitting yet. Besides, if it doesn't work out and I'm left with crippling side effects, I still have the one final out. Yes, I say. All right, ready for a timeout? Ready for a timeout, the others respond. I bite down on my lip as the nurse again pins the oxygen mask to my face. This is Riley Ian Dunlap, born June 2nd, 1998, the anesthesiologist announces. A nurse reads off my bracelet. I agree. I've got unilateral ECT here, 175 ketamine, 50 succinylcholine. I agree. Here comes 175 ketamine. She plugs the vial into my IV and thrusts down the plunger. I shut my eyes. I can't look. If I look, I know I'll start to panic as the timer ticks down until the drug crosses my blood-brain barrier and I sink into a medically induced coma. Don't worry about it, man, the masked nurse says. I reopen my eyes. We'll take care of you. It's beginning to hit me. The memory of the feeling comes back. It starts with tingling in your toes and fingertips, then quickly spreads across the entire body. Then comes the tugging at your peripheral vision, which finally ends with the advancement of TV static across your eyes until that swallows up everything and it's all black and empty. It's almost like dying, I think. It's something you're simply subjected to. You get no say in the matter. You will enter this coma. The whole process lasts about 30 seconds. When I wake up, I don't know where I am, but I know that something has changed. I don't know who I am either. I'm drifting. I'm drifting through fuzz while my brain pieces itself back together, and I don't even feel the hot throbbing in my temples yet, but I know something has changed. It starts to come back in fragments. Name. It's Wednesday. Red Sox. I've had to reclaim these fragments that constantly become more fragmented 5 times before, but this time is different. I can't figure out what yet, but it's different. And then it starts to hit me. It used to be that everything I do was filtered. I imagine it as a black cheesecloth, straining my thoughts and feelings and memories. I hit it off with a stranger, and the black cheesecloth tells me that they hated me. I see a bright blue sky, and the black cheesecloth adds some gray to it. The black cheesecloth isn't there anymore. The fragments all scattered around. The only thing to do is start gathering, so that's what I do, without gloves and with no filter. I see dropping out of college, scoop it up. It's okay, it was the right decision to make for my mental health. My noticeable acne scars. Sure, they're there, but so are my eyes, and they're prettier than my scars are ugly. The can of ginger ale, wow. The can of ginger ale next to my cushy hospital bed. I'm in the recovery room, and the nurse knows that ginger ale is my favorite soda. There's another fragment that I pick up. The can is green, but it's not like any green I've ever seen. It burns like green fire under the ceiling lights, and the green is rich and deep, but not deep as in darkness, deep as in depth. It's so green that I could dive headfirst into that color. I could. I never understood the concept of tears of joy until now, but I get it. I'm overcome by this green can of soda, but then I look around, blinking out the last of the sleep, and I exhale a half sob, half gasp. It's not just the aluminum can. The yellow wallpaper is yellower. A TV near the ceiling plays Ellen. She cracks a joke, and the laughter sounds happier. Woozy, I reach for the ginger ale and take a sip, spilling half of it on the bed. I'm weeping now. I've never tasted anything sweeter in my whole life. The nurse, an old woman, is there in an instant and snatches the can out of my hand. Let me help you with that. She sees me crying. I must be ugly crying. There's snot oozing down my nose, and I'm still under the influence, so I can barely keep my head upright. Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry. She takes my hand in hers. I hold on to it. No, it's a good cry.